This is not regular celebrity drama. This is chaos. One sentence was confirmed, and everything collapsed at once. Yandy Smith crying. Tamar Braxton finally saying too much. Mendeecees silent while the internet turns savage. And suddenly, funky Dineva doesn't sound crazy anymore. Timelines froze. Group chats exploded. Fans stopped laughing and started rewatching old clips with new fear. Because now it feels real. Insiders say this didn't start yesterday. It's been hiding behind smiles, music videos, friendly hugs, and it's just business. Until it wasn't. Alleged voice notes are circulating in private chats. Screenshots are being deleted faster than they are posted. People who used to speak freely are now going quiet. That's never a good sign. Sources claim Yandy heard something that broke her in seconds. Not a rumor. Not a blog headline. Something direct. Something undeniable. Tamar's camp is scrambling. Phones ringing. Statements drafted and scrapped. Silence suddenly doing more damage than denial. And funky Dineva. He's hinting he knows more. That he held back. That what we see is only the surface. Fans are realizing the signs were always there. The looks. The closeness. The discomfort nobody wanted to name. Now it's too late. Because once a confirmation hits the internet, there's no putting it back. This isn't gossip anymore. It's betrayal, exposure, and emotional fallout happening in real time. And if this is just the beginning, the next reveal might destroy everything. It didn't arrive like breaking news. It arrived like a crack in glass. Soft at first. Almost unnoticeable. Then suddenly everywhere. One sentence from Tamar Braxton. One pause too long. One look that didn't match the words coming out of her mouth. And the internet felt it instantly. Clips were ripped before the interview even ended. Screenshots flew through group chats like warning signals. People didn't wait for blogs to explain anything. They already knew. Because when truth slips, it doesn't scream. It hesitates. While timelines erupted, Yandy Smith was allegedly nowhere near the noise. No cameras. No glam. No preparation. Just her phone lighting up again and again. The first message was gentle. You okay? The second wasn't. Please tell me you've seen this. By the fifth notification, her stomach had already dropped. Sources say Yandy sat alone when she watched the clip. No friends. No team. Just her and the screen. She watched it once. Paused it. Then replayed it. Each time hoping she misheard. Each time realizing she hadn't. People expect betrayal to come with yelling. With tears. With chaos. That's not what happened. Yandy allegedly went still. The kind of stillness that scares people around you. The kind where your body freezes, but your thoughts are screaming. She didn't cry right away. She didn't call anyone. She just scrolled. Strangers debating her marriage. Fans arguing sides. People analyzing her pain like content. And the worst part wasn't the speculation. It was the name. Because this wasn't a random woman. This was the woman she was always told not to worry about. Behind the scenes, Tamar's camp reportedly felt the shift immediately. Group chats stopped responding. Assistants avoided certain calls. Phones buzzed unanswered on tables. A statement was drafted within the hour. Then deleted. Another was written. Softer. More careful. Deleted again. Because no version fixed the problem. Once people connect dots, explanations feel like lies. Meanwhile, the internet went digging. Old clips resurfaced faster than anyone expected. Tamar laughing too freely next to Mendeecees. Sitting closer than necessary. Touching his arm like it was second nature. Moments once dismissed as friendly now felt heavy. Fans replayed interviews where Tamar defended him unprompted. Moments where her tone shifted when his name came up. Smiles that suddenly felt rehearsed. Timelines started forming. Late-night studio sessions. Random, coincidental appearances. Lyrics that now sounded personal instead of artistic. Coincidences stacked. And when coincidences pile up, people stop calling them accidents. That's when funky Dineva's name crept back into the conversation. Not because he posted. Because people remembered. Old videos resurfaced. Old warnings replayed. Moments where he paused mid-sentence and said, "I know more than you'll think." Back then, people laughed. Now it didn't sound funny. According to insiders, Funky wasn't shocked by Tamar's confirmation. He was irritated. Irritated that something he allegedly protected stayed buried for so long. Irritated that silence he chose out of loyalty was now being repaid with chaos. When he finally went live, he didn't yell. He didn't joke. He spoke calmly. That calm made people nervous. Calm usually means someone has receipts and patience. While all of this unfolded, Yandy remained offline. No quotes. No subtweets. No motivational captions. That silence became louder than anything Tamar said. Paparazzi later caught Yandy leaving a private meeting. Dark glasses. Jaw clenched. Phone in her hand like it weighed 100 pounds. One insider claims she asked the same question repeatedly. Not, "Is it true?" How long? As hours passed, another layer started circulating quietly. Not blogs. Not headlines. Private messages. Alleged texts whispered about in group chats. Nothing explicit. Nothing graphic. Just familiar enough to hurt. Enough to suggest emotional closeness long before any confirmation. Bloggers hinted they'd seen more. Then suddenly went silent. Legal pressure. Families involved. Too dangerous to post. That silence only made fans dig harder. Then came the rumor that shifted everything. That Yandy didn't just find out through the internet. That someone reached out directly. A call. Sources won't say who made it. Only that it wasn't anonymous. And it wasn't vague. Yandy reportedly listened without interrupting. No yelling. No arguing. Just silence on the line. When the call ended, she cried. Not loudly. The kind of crying that comes when answers confirm your worst fears. After that, insiders say something changed. Her silence stopped looking confused. It started looking final. Tamar, meanwhile, posted nothing. No denial. No clarification. Just quiet. And in celebrity scandals, quiet is never neutral. Fans noticed unfollows. Noticed distance. Noticed who stopped liking whose posts. Every move was dissected. Every absence felt deliberate. Then Funky hinted again. No screenshots. No names. Just one sentence. I protected people who never protected me. That sentence landed harder than any receipt. Because protection implies danger. And danger implies truth. By the end of the night, the tone online had shifted. This wasn't gossip anymore. It felt personal. It felt raw. Like something whispered privately. No interviews. No posts. No, we're good, reassurance. His silence was dissected just as brutally. Some fans defended it as maturity. Others called it avoidance. But everyone noticed one thing. He wasn't denying anything. Then the timeline shifted again. A new rumor surfaced quietly. That this wasn't just emotional. That it wasn't new. That it had been circling for months. Studio sessions that ran late. Coincidental appearances. Private jokes no one else understood. People started re-watching reality clips. Moments where Yandy looked uncomfortable. Moments where she brushed things off. At the time, it looked like trust. Now it looked like patience being tested. Then a blogger dropped a hint. Not proof. A warning. There's a recording everyone's afraid of. That sentence alone sent fans spiraling. Group chats exploded. Theories multiplied. Who had it? What was on it? Why hadn't it dropped? The answer scared people more than the rumor. Because when something exists, but doesn't surface, it usually means lawyers are involved. Insiders claim Tamar's team held emergency meetings. Not about denial. About damage. Which platforms to avoid. Which interviews to decline. What not to say. Because saying the wrong thing could trigger everything. Then Tamar posted. Not a statement. Not an apology. A quote. Something vague about truth and perception. Fans weren't buying it. They wanted answers. And vagueness felt insulting. The comments were brutal. Support turned into suspicion. Suspicion turned into anger. And suddenly, Tamar's silence looked less like privacy and more like strategy. Funky noticed. He hinted again. Said if people wanted truth, they should ask why certain nights never get mentioned. Why certain stories keep changing. Why everyone involved remembers events differently. That was enough to shift the conversation. Because inconsistent stories are louder than confessions. Yandy, meanwhile, was reportedly done engaging. Friends say she stopped asking questions. Stopped checking updates. That's never a good sign. Because when someone stops asking, they've already decided. Then came the alleged confrontation. Not public. Not filmed. Private. Sources won't agree on details. Only that it happened. Raised voices. Tears. Denials that didn't convince. And one sentence that allegedly ended everything. I didn't think it would come out like this. That line alone shattered any remaining defense. Because accidents don't need secrecy. After that, insiders say Yandy went quiet in a different way. Not hurt. Resolved. Tamar reportedly tried to reach out again. Calls unanswered. Messages unread. Silence returned, colder this time. Fans started choosing sides aggressively. Comment sections became battlefields. Anyone defending Tamar was dragged. Anyone questioning Yandy was shut down. Neutrality disappeared. Then Funky said something that changed everything. I'm done protecting people who don't protect me. Not yelled. Not emotional. Matter of fact. That sentence told viewers one thing. He was closer to dropping something than anyone realized. By the end of the day, the narrative was no longer, did it happen? It became, how much is being hidden? And who's going to crack first? Because silence can't hold forever. And when it breaks, it destroys everything around it. The internet could feel it. This wasn't cooling down. It was loading. And whatever was coming next was going to be worse than confirmation. The breaking point didn't come with a post. It came with a leak. Not public at first. Not dramatic. Just a whisper that something existed. Something real. By the third day, everyone could feel it. This wasn't speculation anymore. This was containment. Sources claimed multiple teams were now involved. Managers. Lawyers. Publicists who specialize in crisis, not branding. That alone told the truth louder than any statement. Yandy Smith still hadn't spoken. But insiders say she didn't need to. Her circle changed. People noticed who stopped appearing around her. Who suddenly went quiet. Who no longer defended anyone publicly. Those shifts don't happen without reason. Meanwhile, Tamar Braxton's silence started feeling heavy. Not peaceful. Not dignified. Strategic. Every hour she didn't speak, theories multiplied. Fans weren't asking for apologies anymore. They wanted honesty. And honesty wasn't coming. Then funky Dineva went live again. This time, no warnings. No build-up. Just a calm tone and one chilling sentence. Everybody keeps asking me what happened that night. The real question is why nobody wants to say. The chat froze. He didn't name names. He didn't show receipts. He described behavior. Body language. Moments. Silences that don't belong in innocent situations. He talked about discomfort. About knowing when to remove yourself. About nights you remember clearly because they didn't feel right. Viewers understood immediately. This wasn't about drama. This was about truth being delayed. Then the alleged recording became unavoidable. Blogs wouldn't post it. But they confirmed it existed. Multiple sources. Multiple confirmations. One voice. Another responding. Familiar. Too familiar. Insiders say the recording wasn't explicit. That's what made it worse. It was intimate. Comfortable. The kind of closeness that doesn't happen by accident. That's when defenses collapsed. Fans stopped arguing. They started processing. Because you can explain rumors. You can't explain tone. Yandy's team reportedly made a decision that night. No more silence. But no public statement either. Instead, distance. She unfollowed quietly. Cancelled appearances without explanation. Pulled back in ways that spoke volumes. Sources say she wasn't angry anymore. She was done. Meanwhile, Tamar attempted a soft return. A carefully worded message. Mentions of healing. Privacy. It backfired instantly. The comments were ruthless. People weren't buying reflection. They wanted accountability. And the lack of denial became the loudest answer of all. Mendeecees finally broke his silence. Not with words. With absence. He skipped events he was expected at. Ignored press completely. And still. No denial. That silence cemented the narrative. Because when three people are involved and none deny it, the public fills in the blanks. Then Funky said it. The line that changed everything. I wasn't protecting a rumor. I was protecting people. That sentence shattered whatever hope remained. Because you don't protect lies. You protect consequences. Fans realized something painful. This wasn't sudden. This was exposed. What happened privately finally collided with public light. And once that happens, nothing survives untouched. Insiders claim conversations happened behind the scenes. Apologies offered. Explanations attempted. But apologies don't undo betrayal. And explanations don't erase patterns. Yandy reportedly refused to engage further. Not because she didn't have questions. Because she had answers. The internet shifted again. From shock to acceptance. From rage to mourning. Because fans weren't just watching a scandal. They were watching trust collapse. Tamar's brand took a hit overnight. Not from one moment. From accumulation. From silence. From avoidance. From familiarity that went too far. Funky stepped back. Not because he was done. Because he'd said enough. And everyone knew it. The recording never leaked publicly. That was intentional. Because its existence alone was enough. Sometimes proof doesn't need to be heard. It just needs to be confirmed. By the end of the week, the story stopped trending. Not because it faded. Because it settled. Into something permanent. A shift that couldn't be undone. Yandy moved forward quietly. Tamar stayed guarded. Mendeecees remained absent. And Funky. He went silent too. Which said everything. Because when the messiest voice stops talking, it usually means the truth has landed. This wasn't a crash out. It was a collapse. Slow. Public. Irreversible. And everyone watching knew one thing for sure. This wasn't the end of the story. It was the end of pretending. If you made it this far, understand this, you're already inside the story. This isn't the kind of drama you catch later in a recap. This is the kind that shifts while you're watching, the kind where the next move could drop at any second and rewrite everything you think you know. Missing the next update isn't just missing tea, it's missing the moment the truth finally cracks wide open. Because someone is going to speak. Someone is going to slip. Someone is going to confirm what silence has been screaming this entire time. So don't sit on the sidelines pretending this won't escalate. It always does. Hit like right now so this story stays alive in your feed and doesn't disappear under the noise. Subscribe because when the next leak surfaces, and it will, you don't want to hear about it secondhand. You want to see it unfold in real time. Drop your thoughts in the comments, not the safe ones, but the real ones. Who do you believe? Who knew first? And who do you think is still hiding something? Engagement isn't optional here. It's how these stories surface, how receipts come out, how insiders feel bold enough to talk. The more noise this makes, the harder it is for anyone to bury the truth. Stay locked in. Stay watching. Because the silence you're seeing right now, it's not the end. It's the calm before something much louder, and you don't want to miss the second it breaks.